Hello, so in this tutorial we are going to understand what is strain gauge. So strain gauge is a special type of sensor or a module that helps us to detect and measure a strain of an object. So you see in the picture, this is a thin flexible in the form of a foil, a strain gauge. The blue region here is a conductive and its resistance is measured from one large blue pad to the other. So there are two pads right here. So across it you can measure its resistance when this thin film, a foil called a strain gauge, bends, and the maximum sensitivity to the applied strain of this sensor is in the vertical direction as compared to the horizontal direction. It means the more strain it experiences, the more change in its resistance it will measure and show up when you bend it in a vertical direction as compared to when you bend it in a horizontal direction. So this kind of strain gauge, usually you use them in a Wheatstone bridge circuit configuration, where in a Wheatstone bridge there are four resistances and one of them can be replaced by this unknown or nominal resistance of the strain gauge. So the bridge is balanced in an ideal situation, and when there is a bending happens of this transducer or a sensor, this sensor or a strain gauge will show up a change in resistance due to the bending or applied strain, and that change in resistance will unbalance the Wheatstone bridge, which will display a change in its voltage across its output terminal. So that was all about Wheatstone bridge. Usually you install this kind of sensor or a strain gauge on the body of an object, and when that object moves or bends or flexes, there is a strain that an object experiences, and subsequently strain gauge also undergoes a positive or negative strain. In other words, it's called as tensile or compressive strain, and accordingly it displays the changes in its resistance. So this is all about your strain gauge, and this is a commonly used sensor. Usually the dimensions of this sensor is in few millimeters in height, and again few millimeters in the width. So let's say it's about 5 mm right here in the vertical direction and 3 mm right here in the horizontal direction. So that is how the strain gauge works, and its principle is like